Good morning to all my friends and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. As you can see, we've got these new sculptures here down on the International Passenger Terminal, and they absolutely look beautiful, where you can get a focused look through this donut shaped object. And how wonderful is it? Let's just follow that ferry out. And it's pre-dawn. We've got the first light coming up, and you can see this magnificent city of Sydney that is getting ready for another day. The breeze is quite chilly, I've got to admit, and it's a westerly south. It's a southwesterly by the looks of it. Bit of a cloud on the horizon there, so we're not going to have a magnificent sunrise, but it will be beautiful, I think. Hopefully we'll get some orange tinge happening across there, and the city will slowly wake up and greet this terrific Tuesday. So what I want to do today is take you through a book summary entitled A More Beautiful Question by Warren Berger. And I'll just stay here, I think, and look at the world through this pretty donut. How glorious is that? So the author kicks off the book summary with a quote where he suggests that you won't learn unless you question. So the art of questioning is very, very powerful for each and every one of us. So the power of questioning is really, really apparent. And from a very young age, and for those who have got children and grandchildren, you'll realise that kids ask their parents lots of questions, and they ask them constantly. I've got my granddaughter who's 3.5 going on 13, our three-nager as we call her, and she's always asking questions, like all kids. I'm not saying that she's any different to other 3-year-olds, but she's always asking questions. But the sad thing is, for many people, is that most people lose their natural inquisitiveness as they get older. They start getting shy when they become teenagers, and instead of asking lots and lots of questions, they just go into their shells. They just go into their shells and become less inquisitive, I guess is the best way of describing it. So it's not about just asking questions, but it's about asking the right questions, which is the vital skill that we all need to generate, to develop, and to build and enhance, and to keep as part of our inventory of skills as we traverse the challenges, the many challenges and the many paths of life that we go through. So the sort of questions that we need to incorporate into our vocabulary and into our mindset is the first one, which is why. The second question is why not. The third question is what if, and the last one is how. So the author kicks off with some formal points in this book, where he says that we are born with an important and useful trait of curiosity, which we progressively lose over time. So it's important to be mindful that we're born with this trait, but if we're not careful, if we don't use it, if we don't exercise it, this is our birthright. If we don't use it, we progressively lose it over time. And that questions, this whole thing about questioning, is what sets humans apart from all other creatures on the planet. So it sets us apart from all other life, the ability to question. And this really, really blew my mind, because what we're saying here is that as kids, it's estimated that they'll ask up to 40,000 questions a day between the ages of 2 and 4. And that's probably the ages that people grow and develop at the fastest rate, between the ages of 2 and 4. So just take a moment to think about that during those ages, there is a huge growth in their understanding and their I guess acceptance of the world around them, because children genuinely want to learn about the world around them, but then they go to school. Then they go to school, and the education system sadly smothers this skill, as it only rewards rote learning and fact regurgitation. I remember at school, the kids in the class who asked the most questions were basically the kids who the teachers basically told to shut up, and to not interrupt. Do you remember that? Do you remember the kids at school who asked the most questions? I remember putting my hand up time and time again, and the teachers would continually tell me, stop interrupting, or come and see me after class. But after class it was just too late then, because you lost the urge. You wanted to find out there and then. To satisfy your thirst. Well, then the authors here then move on and talk about some of the other questions, or some of the types of questions that we ask. And asking why will help us get smarter, but also learn to ask why not, is what the author suggests as well. Because by asking why not, we become more innovative. We become more innovative thinkers. Because the why not questions initiate innovation. And a lot of products, a lot of services, a lot of people have become very, very wealthy by asking the question, why not? And the author uses as an example the Airbnb case, how the students asked the simple question, why not? Why can't we just simply rent out our room, our house to other people whilst we're somewhere else, whilst we're on holidays, or whilst we're doing something, and just make the most of this opportunity? And the rest is history. There are plenty of those sorts of examples where people have asked that powerful question, why not? And the author then goes on to talk about a little bit more about questioning, and he says that if you want to be more creative, try the what if questioning, because what if helps us take action, and it gives us an opportunity to see options and to develop more opportunities around us. Because the what if question changes the way of thinking, our way of thinking, and gets us to think outside the box, which is something which is needed to survive in today's world and looking forward into the future. But all of these questions, and even the how question, how are we going to do something, how are we going to solve things, requires patience and determination and follow through. So there we go, another book summary, just waiting for this sun to come up, for the day to start appearing before us. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It is cold, my hands are starting to get numb, but I'm committed. I'm committed to continuing this journey of Jim's 5am Club, where we can be the wind beneath our wings and help us get through the morning, get through the day, and to hopefully live, learn and pass it on. So thank you for joining me. I'll try and keep it short and sharp, and I'll chat to you again later on from a different location with a different message. Kalimera, Christos Anesti to everybody, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.